If you open the hood of a 2026 vehicle, you do not see an engine. You see a wall of plastic, and if you try to remove that plastic, you run into a financial trap. Tamper-proof screws, digital locks, and parts that are legally sealed. We are watching the death of the driveway mechanic. But this is not an accident. It is a planned attack on your wallet. Manufacturers want to turn every car owner into a lifetime renter. They have sealed the hood, they have locked the software, and now they are charging you $200 an hour just for the right to repair your own vehicle. In this investigation, we are going to expose the companies fighting this war and exactly how they made your own truck illegal to repair. We will show you why the hood of your truck is now like a crime scene, and most importantly, we will reveal the only two choices you have left if you want to avoid becoming a renter in your own vehicle. Here is how they took control of your truck. In the past, if a window switch broke, you went to a junkyard, paid $5, and plugged in another one. It was simple copper and plastic. Today, if you install a new switch into a modern Ford or Chevy, it may not work. The truck will reject it. Why? Because manufacturers installed a digital serial number inside the switch. When you install the part, the main computer scans it. If the number does not match the factory database, the computer locks the system. The part is fine, the wiring is fine, but the computer refuses to allow it to work. To unlock it, you must tow the truck to the dealership. You must pay them for 1 hour of labor just to connect a laptop and tell the truck the new switch is approved. They have digitized the wrench and kept the password for themselves. This is not about safety. It is about destroying the used parts market and forcing you to buy expensive new parts directly from the dealer. But before they locked the software, they locked the hardware. Manufacturers call it value engineering. We call it a blockade. On a modern truck, basic maintenance has become extremely difficult. Take the headlight bulb. On a 1990 Silverado, it took 30 seconds and a screwdriver. On a modern truck, you often have to remove the wheel well liner or take apart the front grille just to reach the bulb. On many German cars, they removed the transmission dipstick completely. You cannot check your own transmission fluid. You must trust a sensor on the dashboard. When that sensor fails, you do not just replace a sensor. Sometimes you replace the entire transmission. But the worst example is the cab-off repair. On modern Ford Super Duty trucks, the engine is packed so tightly that for many major repairs, the mechanic has to lift the entire cab off the frame. What used to be a Saturday afternoon job is now a $4,000 labor bill. Why? Because you cannot change a gasket without a commercial lift. They say this is for aerodynamics and packaging, but the reality is simple. They want you to feel overwhelmed, close the hood, and hand them your credit card. You might think, at least I can still replace my own battery. Not anymore. On many modern vehicles, including BMW and Ford, the car uses a battery management system. If you install a new battery yourself, the car may not recognize it. The alternator will treat the new battery like the old, weak battery and overcharge it, destroying your new battery in a few weeks. To fix this, the battery must be registered to the car's computer. And to do that, you must go to the dealership and pay them just to press a button. They have turned the simplest maintenance job into a subscription. You cannot talk about this without mentioning John Deere. Farmers were the first victims. They spent hundreds of thousands of dollars on a tractor, but if a small sensor failed, the machine would shut down. The farmer could replace the sensor in minutes, but the software would not accept it until a dealer arrived with a laptop to unlock it. Farmers were stuck during harvest, losing thousands of dollars per hour waiting for permission to use their own equipment. The auto industry saw how profitable this was and copied the system. Now, your truck goes into limp mode not because it is broken, but because a sensor reading is slightly outside the allowed range and the manufacturer wants you to visit the service center. The goal is not just repair money. The goal is control. Manufacturers realized they do not make enough money selling you the car once. They want monthly income from your vehicle. For example, BMW tried to charge customers a monthly fee to use heated seats that were already installed. Toyota tried to charge a subscription for remote start on the key fob. You bought the car. You own the hardware. But they placed a digital gate between you and your own property. This is not just manufacturing anymore. They are trying to turn cars into a service like Netflix, and if you stop paying, they can disable features remotely. So, is the driveway mechanic dead? Not yet, but he is being pushed out. We are seeing a huge rise in underground repairs. Farmers are buying hacked software to unlock tractors. Mechanics are using unofficial diagnostic tools to bypass dealer restrictions. People are keeping old trucks running as long as possible just to avoid buying a computer on wheels. Here's the final verdict. If you buy a 2026 vehicle, you may not truly own it. You are just the main user of a data-controlled machine owned by a corporation. They control the software, they control the parts, they control the repair. If you want real ownership, you have two options. First, support right-to-repair laws. Second, buy an older analog vehicle. Buy a truck where opening the hood shows an engine, not a plastic cover. Buy a car where a switch is just a switch, not a computer module. The war on do-it-yourself repair is real. They sealed the hood, they locked the software, but they cannot take away your ability to choose. Keep the old machines running and never let them tell you that you are not allowed to fix what you own.